What if the very thing you have been waiting for is already waiting for you, not far away, not hidden, not delayed, but standing quietly at the door of this day, asking only one thing from you: to believe that you are worthy of receiving it? What if peace is not something you must chase? What if love is not something you must prove yourself ready for? What if the very best has been trying to reach you, but your own tired thoughts, your own old doubts, your own quiet habit of feeling less than enough have kept the door only half open? Right now, before this day goes any further, before the noise of the world grows louder, before your mind begins to tell you all the old stories again, there is a chance to choose something new. There is a chance to speak to yourself in a different way. There is a chance to begin again from a softer place, from a truer place, from a place where your heart remembers what your fear has made you forget. You are worthy. You are worthy now, in this breath, in this moment, exactly as you are. So many people wake up and begin the day by stepping into battle with themselves. Before their feet even touch the floor, the mind is already busy. It starts listing what is wrong, what is missing, what needs to be fixed, what should have happened already, what did not go well yesterday, what might go wrong today. The day begins with pressure. The day begins with strain. The day begins with a quiet feeling of not being enough, not doing enough, not having enough, not becoming enough. And then people wonder why they feel so tired before the day has even truly begun. They wonder why joy feels far away. They wonder why good things feel slow to arrive. But the energy of the day is often shaped in those first gentle moments. The thoughts you choose early matter. The words you speak to yourself matter. The tone you use with your own heart matters. If you begin he day by speaking lack, the day grows heavy. If you begin the day by speaking worthiness, the day begins to open. There is a deep spiritual truth here, and it is simple enough for every heart to understand. Life responds to the way you meet it. If you meet life with closed hands, with fear, with the feeling that you must fight for every small blessing, then everything can feel hard and far away. But if you meet life with openness, with trust, with a heart that says, I am ready for good, then something begins to shift. The day may not change all at once on the outside, but something powerful changes inside you. And when that changes, the way you walk through the day changes too. Your body softens, your breath deepens, your choices become kinder, your eyes begin to notice beauty again, your heart begins to expect something better. That is not foolish, that is not weakness, that is alignment. That is what happens when you begin to live as if your soul matters, as if your peace matters, as if your life is allowed to hold goodness. You do not need to earn the right to receive the very best. You do not need to be more perfect, more polished, more healed, more productive, more anything. The mind has many ways of delaying your joy. It says later, when you have done more, when you have changed more, when you have fixed more, then you will be worthy. But worthiness does not begin someday. Worthiness is not a prize at the end of struggle. Worthiness is a truth that already lives within you. It was there before the world taught you to doubt yourself. It was there before anyone judged you. It was there before the painful moments, before the mistakes, before the fear, before the heartbreak, before all the days you forgot who you were. Worthiness is not something outside you. It is part of your spiritual nature. It is part of the love that made you. It is part of the life moving through you right now. Perhaps you have spent so much time trying to be accepted by others that you forgot to accept yourself. Perhaps you have spent so much time hoping for someone else to choose you that you forgot to choose yourself. Perhaps you have waited for proof, for a sign, for a perfect moment, for the outside world to confirm what your spirit has been whispering all along. But this day can begin differently. This day can begin with your own voice becoming that sign. This day can begin with you speaking truth into the places where fear has spoken for too long. This day can begin with one simple shift. Instead of asking, "Am I good enough for the very best?" you begin to say, "Because I exist, because life lives in me, because love made me, I am worthy of the very best." Feel the softness of that for a moment, not as a demand, not as a performance, not as something you must force yourself to believe all at once. Just let the words sit gently in your heart. I am worthy of the very best. You do not have to shout it. You do not have to argue with every old thought right now. You do not have to make yourself perfect before the words can be true. You only need to let them enter. You only need to become willing to hear a different voice inside. A kinder voice. A truer voice. A voice that does not rush to judge you. A voice that does not hold your past against you. A voice that says, "My dear one, you have carried enough. You have doubted enough. You have pushed yourself enough. Come closer to the truth now. You are worthy." There is something beautiful that happens when you stop speaking to yourself as if you are a problem and start speaking to yourself as if you are precious. The whole inner world changes. The body listens. The heart listens. The nervous system listens. The spirit listens. When you speak harshly to yourself, your whole being tightens. When you speak gently, your whole being begins to open. This is why your morning words matter so much. They are not empty sounds. They are instructions. They are seeds. They are a direction for your energy. If you begin with criticism, you plant struggle. If you begin with worthiness, you plant peace. If you begin with fear, you plant tension. If you begin with trust, you plant grace. The soil of the day is open in the morning. What you place into it will grow. Maybe no one ever taught you to start the day with love. Maybe you learned to wake up and prepare for pressure. Maybe you learned to measure yourself quickly, to compare, to judge, to brace for the weight of life. Many people live this way for years and call it normal. But a heart that lives in constant pressure forgets how to receive. A mind that lives in constant self-judgment forgets how to rest. A soul that keeps hearing "not enough" starts to shrink away from its own light. Yet all of that can begin to change with something very simple. A different sentence, a different inner voice, a different beginning. Not because words alone solve everything, but because loving words create room for healing. Loving words make space for truth. Loving words tell the heart, you are safe enough now to open, and opening matters. Because the very best does not arrive easily in a clenched spirit. Goodness likes open doors. Peace likes open hands. Love likes open hearts. Blessings are always moving, always flowing, always looking for places where they can land and stay. When you believe you are unworthy, you may push away the very things you have been praying for. You may doubt a kind moment. You may shrink from a new chance. You may question a blessing. You may feel uncomfortable with joy. But when you begin to speak worthiness into your day, you are doing more than saying nice words. You are teaching yourself to receive. You are telling life, I am no longer closing the door to good. I am no longer turning away from love. I am no longer arguing with the idea that something beautiful could belong to me. Think about how different your day might feel if the first message your heart received was not pressure, but permission. Permission to breathe. Permission to be where you are. Permission to grow slowly. Permission to be loved. Permission to receive help. Permission to expect goodness. Permission to believe that this day can hold peace, clarity, and kindness. That changes everything. It changes the way you move through your morning. It changes the way you meet your reflection. It changes the way you handle small problems. It changes the way you speak to others. It changes how deeply you trust that life is not against you. And sometimes the smallest spiritual change becomes the beginning of a much bigger outer change. This is not about pretending there are no hard things. This is not about denying real pain or acting as if life never asks much from you. It is about choosing what voice will lead you through the day. Will it be the old voice of fear that says, be careful, be small, do not expect too much, do not hope too much, do not trust? Or will it be the voice of worthiness that says, you are guided, you are supported, you are allowed to receive. You are allowed to begin this day in peace. One voice leads to contraction. The other leads to expansion. One makes the spirit smaller. The other reminds you of your true size. One repeats the old wound. The other opens the door to healing. There is a tenderness in beginning the day this way, a sacred tenderness, a sense that the morning is not just another rush into more doing, but a meeting between you and your own soul. And in that meeting, you get to decide what you will carry forward. You can carry yesterday's fears into today, or you can set them down and carry a new truth instead. You can carry the old belief that good must be earned through pain, or you can carry the new understanding that love is your natural state and worthiness is already yours. You can carry stress in your chest, or you can carry a gentle sentence that becomes a lamp for the hours ahead. I am worthy of the very best this day can bring. Say that softly in your own heart now. I am worthy of the very best this day can bring. Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be enough. You do not need to solve your whole life in this moment. You do not need to rewrite every belief in one breath, but you can begin. You can begin with one sentence spoken honestly. You can begin with one breath taken slowly. You can begin with one choice to no longer start the day by standing against yourself. That is already powerful. That is already spiritual work. That is already a beautiful turning toward the light. And as you keep returning to this truth day after day, your life begins to feel different from the inside out. The old habits may still try to speak. The old fear may still visit. But it no longer gets the first word every morning. It no longer gets to decide what kind of energy begins your day. You begin to claim that space for love. You begin to claim that space for peace. You begin to claim that space for the quiet spiritual knowing that you are not here to beg life for crumbs. You are here to remember your connection to the source of all good. You are here to remember that love did not create you to live in constant self-rejection. You are here to remember that this day, this very day, can become softer, brighter, and more open simply because you chose to begin from worthiness. This moment is enough to begin, not later, not after you feel more ready, not after the whole world becomes quiet, not after every fear leaves. Right here, in the middle of whatever this day holds, there is a doorway into peace, and that doorway is the present moment. So often, the mind runs ahead or runs behind. It goes back into old memories, old pain, old regret, old words that still echo in the body. Or it runs into the future, into worry, into planning, into trying to control every possible outcome before it arrives. And while the mind is busy doing all of that, the beauty of this moment is missed. The power of this moment is missed. The healing of this moment is missed. Yet life is always happening now. Breath is happening now. Peace is available now. The chance to choose a kinder thought is happening now. There is great spiritual strength in remembering the present moment, not as a trick, not as a rule, but as a return to what is real. Right now, you can breathe. Right now, you can soften your shoulders. Right now, you can stop arguing with this moment and simply meet it. Right now, you can step out of the rush of fear and into the quiet of awareness. The present moment does not ask you to have all the answers. It does not ask you to know exactly what comes next. It only asks you to arrive. It only asks you to be here enough to hear your own heart again. The mind often believes that safety lives in control, but real peace begins when you stop trying to control everything and return to what is actually happening in this breath. Just notice your breath for a moment. You do not need to change it too much. You do not need to make it perfect. Just notice that it is here. The breath is one of the gentlest ways life reminds you that you are supported. You do not have to chase the next breath. It comes. You do not have to force your heart to beat. It beats. There is already a loving intelligence at work within you, holding you, carrying you, moving through you. The present moment helps you remember this. When the mind is loud, the breath becomes a bridge. It brings you back from the noise. It brings you back from all the stories. It brings you back to a place where you can feel that you are still here, still alive, still held by something greater than fear. So much suffering comes from leaving the present moment and living only in thought. Thought has its place. Planning has its place. Memory has its place. But when thought becomes a storm, when memory becomes a prison, when tomorrow steals your peace from today, then the soul becomes tired. The body becomes tired. The spirit begins to feel far away from itself. This is why returning to now is not a small thing. It is sacred. It is healing. It is a form of kindness. Every time you return to now, you stop feeding the storm for a moment. Every time you return to now, you let the heart rest. Every time you return to now, you remind your whole being that not everything has to be carried at once. There is no need to rush this day. There is no prize for racing through your life without feeling it. There is no peace in living 10 steps ahead of yourself. This moment deserves your presence. This morning deserves your softness. This breath deserves your attention. Not because you must do some perfect spiritual practice, but because you are worthy of feeling your own life as it happens. You are worthy of not always living in the next problem. You are worthy of a slower beginning. You are worthy of moments in which nothing is demanded from you except that you gently notice, I am here. I am breathing. I am alive. I can begin again from here. The present moment is where new thoughts can enter. If you stay lost in old stories, you keep thinking from the past. If you stay trapped in fear of the future, you keep thinking from anxiety. But now, here in the present, something new becomes possible. Here, you can choose a different sentence. Here, you can choose worthiness over worry. Here, you can choose trust over tension. Here, you can speak to yourself with care. The present moment is not empty. It is full of possibility. It is the one place where change can actually happen. Yesterday cannot be changed from yesterday. Tomorrow cannot be lived from tomorrow. But now, in this exact breath, you can think differently, speak differently, and stand differently inside your own life. What a gift that is. What a quiet miracle. That no matter what came before, no matter what thoughts you have been carrying, no matter how heavy the morning felt when you first opened your eyes, there is still this living moment. And inside this living moment, there is still choice. You can pause. You can breathe. You can stop the old pattern in the middle of itself. You can notice the harsh thought and not follow it. You can notice the pressure and not obey it. You can notice the fear and answer it with something softer. That is power, not loud power, not forceful power, but real inner power. The kind that begins with awareness, the kind that says, I do not have to let every old thought lead me. I can come back to now. I can choose again. Perhaps your mind says, but I have so much to do. I do not have time to slow down. Yet even one slow breath can change the quality of a moment. Even 1 second of awareness can interrupt a spiral. Even one hand placed over your heart can remind the body that it is safe enough to soften. You do not need an hour. You do not need a perfect room or a perfect schedule. You need only a little willingness, a little pause, a little kindness. The present moment is available anywhere. In bed before you rise, in front of a mirror, in the kitchen, in the car, at a desk, in a hallway, on a walk. It does not belong only to quiet places. It belongs to you wherever you choose to enter it. Notice how simple the present moment really is. It is not asking you to solve your life. It is not asking you to explain your whole past. It is not asking you to become someone else. It is only asking you to stop leaving yourself. So much of the time people suffer because they are never fully where they are. The body is in one place, the mind in another, the heart in another, the fear somewhere else again. And this inner splitting creates exhaustion. But when you gather yourself back into this moment, you become whole again for a while. Breath, body, mind, and spirit begin to stand in the same place. That alone is healing. That alone can begin to restore a sense of peace that has felt lost. This is also where gratitude becomes possible. Not forced gratitude, not pretending, but the quiet kind that arises when you really see what is here. The breath, the light in the room, the warmth of a blanket, the sound of morning, the beating heart, the chance to begin again, the chance to say one loving thing to yourself before the day carries you forward. These are not small things. These are signs of life. These are pieces of grace. The present moment makes them visible. When the mind is running too fast, it misses the gifts that are already here. But when you slow down enough to be present, you begin to notice that life is still offering itself to you in simple, beautiful ways. And this matters because the energy you begin with often becomes the energy you carry. If you begin in rush, the whole day can feel rushed. If you begin in pressure, everything can feel demanding. But if you begin with presence, even for a few quiet breaths, you create a different inner ground. You create a steadier place inside yourself. And from that steadier place, you are less likely to be thrown by every little thing. You still feel. You still respond. You still live a real life. But there is more space around your reactions, more softness in your body, more clarity in your mind, more trust in your spirit. Presence does not remove life's challenges, but it changes the way you meet them. Take a moment now and imagine the day not as something rushing at you, but as something you are stepping into with care. Imagine that instead of being chased by the clock, you are walking with your own breath. Imagine that instead of starting from stress, you are starting from stillness. Imagine that the first truth you let into the day is not, I am behind, but I am here. Not, I am already failing, but I can begin from peace. Not, I have to hold everything together, but life is here with me in this moment. These are not just comforting lines. They are ways of living. They are ways of entering the day with more light. The present moment is where you remember that you do not need to carry the whole staircase. You only need this step. You do not need to know the whole answer. You only need the next kind thought. You do not need to become your future self all at once. You only need to show up for this breath with a little more love than yesterday. That is how peace grows. That is how healing grows. Not through forcing your whole life to change by noon, but through gently returning again and again to the small, powerful place where change is actually possible. Here, now, in this breath, in this thought, in this choice. If you have been feeling scattered, come back to now. If you have been feeling afraid, come back to now. If you have been telling yourself that you must have everything figured out before you can feel okay, come back to now. The present moment does not demand perfection. It offers peace. It does not ask you to have all your healing complete. It offers one place to stand while healing continues. It does not ask you to control the future. It asks you to trust that this breath is enough for now. There is mercy in that. There is freedom in that. There is a very deep kind of love in that. And from this place, from the stillness of the present moment, you begin to hear truth more clearly. The noise settles. The old panic softens. The pressure eases. And underneath it all, something quiet but steady begins to rise. A knowing, a whisper, a simple spiritual memory. I do not need to live this day in fear. I do not need to leave myself behind. I do not need to begin from pressure. I can begin from presence. I can begin from peace. I can begin from the quiet, holy fact that I am here now, and that is where all new life begins. Worthiness begins within. Not in approval, not in praise, not in achievement, not in being chosen by the world in some visible way. Worthiness begins within because it is not something the world gives you. It is something the world can only reflect back to you after you begin to know it yourself. Many people spend years trying to feel worthy through outside things, through work, through success, through appearance, through doing more, through pleasing others, through being needed, through being admired, through being called good, strong, useful, beautiful, impressive, spiritual, wise, enough. But none of those things can create worthiness if worthiness is not already being allowed inside. Outside things may bring moments of comfort, moments of joy, moments of confirmation. But real worthiness, steady worthiness, soul-level worthiness begins much deeper than all of that. This is one of the simplest and most life-changing truths you can remember. You do not become worthy because life finally gives you what you want. You do not become worthy because you are finally loved the right way by someone else. You do not become worthy because your healing is complete or your fears are gone. You are worthy first. Then from that inner knowing, you begin to receive life differently. You begin to choose differently. You begin to walk differently. You begin to allow what matches that inner truth. But if you keep waiting for outside proof before you let yourself feel worthy, you may stay waiting for a long time. Because the outer world often follows the inner world. And when the inner world is filled with doubt, it becomes hard to fully receive the very love and goodness that could help you grow. The old pattern says, when I get there, when I become more, when I finally do enough, then I will feel worthy. But that pattern keeps worthiness always in the distance. It keeps love conditional. It keeps peace delayed. It keeps the heart reaching, but never fully resting. And this is exhausting. So many people are tired, not only because life is hard, but because they have made their own worth into a task they can never quite complete. They are always one more step away from allowing themselves to feel enough. One more change, one more win, one more sign, one more approval. But your spirit was not created to live on such cruel terms. Your spirit was not created to spend its whole life auditioning for the right to be loved. Think of how gently life begins in nature. A flower does not bloom and then decide it is worthy. A sunrise does not need applause to rise. A river does not ask permission to flow. Life does not hesitate over its own value in the way people do. Life expresses itself. Life unfolds. Life trusts its own place in the world. And you too are part of life. You are not apart from it. The same life that knows how to move through trees and wind and water also moves through you. The same quiet intelligence that opens petals and turns seasons also beats in your heart. Why would that life create you unworthy? Why would love bring you into being and then ask you to spend your whole life proving that your being matters? No, my dear, the deeper truth is much kinder than that. You are worthy because life itself lives in you. This is where spiritual healing begins. It begins not with trying harder to become lovable, but with remembering that your worth is already woven into your being. It begins when you stop building your value on changing ground and begin to root it in something eternal. Your body may change, your work may change, your relationships may change, your roles may change, your seasons may change, but your worth does not change with them. Your worth is not smaller on your worst day and bigger on your best day. Your worth is not taken away by mistakes. Your worth is not damaged by disappointment. Your worth is not undone by rejection. Your worth is deeper than all of that. It lives beneath the changing conditions of your life. It is there when you feel strong and when you feel uncertain. It is there when you feel joyful and when you feel lost. It is there whether or not your mind remembers it in every moment. So why do so many people lose touch with this truth? Because from a very young age, many were taught to look outside themselves for permission to feel good. They learned that being loved often came with conditions. Be quiet, be pleasing, be successful, be useful, be less emotional, be more impressive, be what others need, be what others want. And after a while, the heart begins to believe that love must be earned and worthiness must be performed. The child who once simply existed in wonder begins to measure and compare. The spirit that once moved more freely begins to shrink and shape itself around approval. And so the adult wakes up one day carrying a deep feeling of not enough without always knowing where it came from. But the source of the wound does not have to remain the shape of your life. Just because you learn to doubt yourself does not mean doubt is your truth. Just because you learn to seek worthiness outside does not mean it lives there. You can learn something, new. You can return to yourself. You can begin to speak a different message into your mind and body. You can begin to say, I no longer build my value on praise, on results, on being perfect, on being chosen. I choose to remember that my worth begins within. And when you say that gently, again and again, something begins to settle. The body may not trust it all at once. The old habits may still speak. But truth has a way of working slowly and deeply. It returns like light to a dark room. It does not need to fight the darkness. it simply enters and stays. Worthiness within changes the way you meet the whole world. When your worth depends on outside things, life feels unstable. A kind word makes you feel high. A hard moment makes you feel small. A success lifts you. A mistake crushes you. Everything becomes a test of whether you are enough. That is a painful way to live. But when worthiness begins within, you become steadier. You still care. You still feel. You still want good things. But your whole self is not hanging on every outside result. There is a deeper place in you that remains rooted. A deeper place that says, this moment may be hard, but it does not change my worth. This person may not understand me, but it does not change my worth. This plan may fall apart, but it does not change my worth. I am still me. I am still worthy. Life still moves in me. That inner steadiness is not pride. It is not hardness. It is not pretending to need nothing. It is actually a form of humility before the truth. It is agreeing with the love that made you. It is saying yes to what is already sacred in you. It is allowing yourself to stop living at war with your own existence. It is allowing yourself to stop treating your value as something fragile and borrowed. When worthiness begins within, you become less desperate for proof and more available for peace. You no longer have to squeeze every moment for confirmation that you matter. You begin to know that you matter before the moment says anything at all. This matters especially at the beginning of the day. Because if you start the day without inner worthiness, you may spend the whole day chasing it outside yourself. You may seek it in productivity. You may seek it in attention. You may seek it in praise. You may seek it in getting everything right. And this leaves the soul hungry. But if you begin the day from within, if you begin with even a small remembrance of your own worth, then the whole energy changes. You can work without making work your identity. You can love without begging to be saved. You can serve without disappearing. You can grow without hating where you are. You can receive a blessing without feeling you must apologize for it. You can hear a compliment without shrinking from it. You can walk through the day as someone who belongs to life, not as someone standing outside the door asking for entry. Maybe you have had moments when something good came near and part of you pulled away. Maybe help was offered and you felt uncomfortable. Maybe love arrived and you doubted it. Maybe an opportunity opened and you questioned whether you deserved it. This often happens not because good is wrong for you, but because the inner self still carries an old story. A story that says, not me, not yet, not really, I am not ready, I am not enough. That is why speaking worthiness matters so deeply, not as shallow praise, but as spiritual correction. You are correcting an old lie. You are teaching the inner self a new truth. You are letting the nervous system learn that goodness is safe to receive. You are letting the heart learn that it does not have to push blessings away to stay familiar with struggle. There is something very healing in placing your hand on your heart and saying, "My worth begins within me." Try to feel the quiet truth of that. My worth begins within me. Not in how much I do today, not in how others respond to me today, not in whether everything goes according to plan, not in whether I feel perfect. My worth begins within me. Those words create a different center. They take your energy back from all the places you have scattered it. They bring you home to yourself, and from that home inside, you can begin the day with more peace. This does not mean you never feel doubt again. It does not mean the world stops being the world, but it means that doubt is no longer the ruler of your inner life. It means the world is no longer the judge of your value. It means you begin to live from an inside truth instead of only reacting to outside change. And that is freedom. That is how a human being becomes more spiritually grounded. Not by escaping life, but by learning where to stand within it. Not by controlling every outcome, but by no longer letting every outcome define who they are. When worthiness begins within, you become gentler with yourself. You stop speaking to yourself as if you are always almost failing. You stop living like you are one mistake away from losing your right to peace. You begin to understand that growth and worth are not enemies. You can still want to learn, heal, change, and become more true without making your present self wrong. That is an important kind of love, the kind that says, "I honor who I am becoming, and I do not reject who I am right now." Many people think self-love means standing still or pretending everything is already easy. But real self-love is much deeper. It is the ability to grow without self-hatred. It is the ability to move forward without using shame as a tool. It is the ability to believe that change can come from kindness. So today, let the truth be simple. Worthiness begins within. Let that become the ground beneath your feet. Let that become the way you meet your reflection. Let that become the sentence you return to when the old voice starts again. Worthiness begins within. Say it when you are tempted to compare. Say it when you feel pressure rising. Say it when you think you have to earn love by being more. Say it when the mind tries to drag you back into old patterns. Worthiness begins within, because when that truth settles into your spirit, you stop begging the world to tell you who you are. You begin to remember it for yourself. And from that remembering, you open the door to the very best, not because you finally proved you deserve it, but because you finally stopped denying what was true all along. So many people say they want peace, love, joy, healing, and the very best life has to offer, and yet deep inside, without even meaning to, they keep pushing those very things away. Not because they are bad, not because they do not deserve good, not because life has forgotten them, They push good away because somewhere along the way they learn to live in doubt more than trust. They learn to expect less so they would not be disappointed. They learn to protect themselves by staying guarded. They learn to speak to themselves in ways that close the heart instead of opening it. And after a while, those ways of thinking begin to feel normal. The struggle begins to feel familiar. The waiting begins to feel familiar. The fear begins to feel familiar. And what is familiar often feels safer than what is truly good. Sometimes the block is not loud. Sometimes it is very quiet. It sounds like this probably will not last. It sounds like good things happen for other people, not for me. It sounds like I should not expect too much. It sounds like, what if it all goes wrong? It sounds like, I am not ready yet. These thoughts may seem small, but they shape the energy of your life. They become the lens through which you see everything. They become the hidden voice behind your choices. They become the feeling in your body when something good begins to come close. And when the body is used to fear, it may react to goodness as if goodness is the dangerous thing. That is one of the saddest habits many people carry. They become so familiar with pain that peace feels strange. They become so familiar with lack that receiving feels uncomfortable. They become so familiar with self-doubt that confidence feels wrong. But none of this means something is wrong with your soul. It simply means you have practiced certain ways of thinking for a long time. You have watered certain thoughts. You have repeated certain beliefs. You have listened to certain inner voices until they began to sound like truth. Yet a repeated thought is not always a true thought. A familiar feeling is not always a wise feeling. A long-held fear is not always a message you need to obey. Sometimes it is just an old pattern asking to be seen. Sometimes it is just a closed door that can slowly begin to open. Many people block good things because they do not feel safe receiving them. They may say they want love, but deep inside they are afraid of being hurt. They may say they want success, but deep inside they are afraid of being seen, judged, or losing it. They may say they want peace, but deep inside they are so used to inner noise that silence feels empty. They may say they want healing, but deep inside they are afraid of who they will be without the old pain. These fears are oft and hidden. They do not always come in clear words. Sometimes they live in the body as tightness. Sometimes they show up as delay. Sometimes they appear as overthinking, pushing, pulling back, or turning away from the very thing the heart says it longs for. And then there is guilt. Guilt is a powerful blocker of good. So many people carry the quiet feeling that they must suffer a little longer before they can receive joy. They may not say it out loud, but it lives under the surface. It says, after what I have done, after what I failed to do, after the choices I made, after the time I wasted, maybe I should not ask for too much. This is such a heavy burden to carry. It keeps the heart from resting. It keeps the spirit from opening. It keeps people tied to old pain long after the lesson has already been learned. But guilt is not the voice of love. Guilt is not the voice of healing. Guilt does not free you. It only keeps you circling the same wound. Life does not ask you to stay in shame forever. Life asks you to awaken, to learn, to soften, and to move forward with more truth. Fear also blocks good in very simple daily ways. It makes people rush. It makes people brace for the worst. It makes them question kindness. It makes them doubt blessings. It makes them assume that if something feels good, it will soon be taken away. And so they never fully relax into receiving. They hold joy with trembling hands. They speak hope with hesitation. They wait for the other shoe to drop. They tell themselves they are just being realistic, but often it is not wisdom speaking. It is fear trying to stay in charge. Fear often wears the clothes of caution. It says, "Do not trust this. Do not open too much. Do not believe too much. Do not hope too much." Yet hope is not foolish. Trust is not foolish. Openness is not foolish. These are the qualities that allow life to move. Self-doubt is another quiet blocker. It says, "Who am I to receive the very best?" It says, "There must be someone more ready, more worthy, more gifted, more healed, more deserving." Self-doubt turns your eyes away from your own light. It makes you forget your own place in life. It makes you compare your journey to someone else's. It makes you step back when life is asking you to step forward. And over time, if it goes unchallenged, self-doubt becomes a habit of shrinking, a habit of making yourself smaller than you are, a habit of treating your own heart like it must always wait its turn. But your life is not a mistake. Your desires are not random. The good meant for you does not belong to someone else. The very best is not kept only for the few. Life is always trying to move toward greater love, greater growth, greater truth. And you are part of that movement too. Sometimes people block good because they are still carrying old stories from long ago. A story of being overlooked, a story of being rejected, a story of not being chosen, a story of having to struggle for every little thing. These stories can become so deep that a person stops questioning them. They simply build a life around them. They begin to say things like, "This is just how it is for me." But a story repeated many times does not become destiny. It only becomes a pattern, and patterns can change. The moment you notice the old story, the moment you hear the old line playing again in your mind, the moment you recognize how often you expect disappointment before the day has even unfolded, that is the moment change can begin. Awareness loosens the knot. Awareness opens the first crack in the wall. And maybe the greatest block of all is the belief that receiving the very best must be hard. So many people have been taught that goodness comes only through struggle, that blessings must be chased, that peace must be earned through exhaustion, that love must be proven worthy of through suffering. But life is not always trying to test you. Life is not always asking you to strain. Sometimes life is simply asking you to open. Sometimes the next step is not more effort, but more allowing. Sometimes the doorway to something beautiful is not force, but trust. Yet if the mind is used to struggle, it may mistrust ease. It may think ease means laziness. It may think flow means weakness. It may think softness means danger. But softness is not weakness. Softness is how the heart opens. Softness is how you receive what force could never bring. This is why it is so important to be gentle with yourself when you begin to see your own blocks. You do not heal by attacking your fear. You do not open the heart by shaming yourself for being closed. You do not become more worthy by criticizing the parts of you that learn to protect themselves. Healing begins with honesty and kindness. It begins when you say, I see how I have been pushing good away. I see how I have been living from fear, doubt, guilt, and old stories, and I am ready to begin another way. That is a holy kind of truth. It is not harsh. It is not condemning. It is simply clear, and clarity is powerful. There is nothing wrong with you because part of you learned to stay guarded. There is nothing wrong with you because peace feels unfamiliar sometimes. There is nothing wrong with you because receiving feels harder than giving, or because hope feels risky, or because trust feels like a stretch. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of where love is needed. They are signs of where the heart needs more tenderness. They are signs of where truth has not yet fully settled in. And truth does not force itself. Truth enters gently. It returns through repetition. It deepens through practice. It becomes real the more often you choose it. So let this be the beginning of a new seeing. Notice the thoughts that close the door. Notice the fear that pulls you back. Notice the guilt that says you must suffer longer. Notice the self-doubt that makes you smaller. Notice the old stories that say good is for others, but not for you. Do not hate these things. Do not build another layer of pain on top of them. Just notice them and tell the truth. This is a block, not my identity. This is a pattern, not my soul. This is an old voice, not the voice of love. The more clearly you see what has been blocking good, the more ready you become to choose something else. And something else is possible. A different morning is possible. A different energy is possible. A heart that no longer closes so quickly is possible. A life that receives more easily is possible. Not because you become perfect overnight, but because you stop feeding what keeps you shut. Because you stop giving all your power to fear. Because you stop letting old stories decide what this day is allowed to hold. The very best begins to enter when you stop arguing with your own worth. It begins to enter when you no longer protect yourself from goodness. It begins to enter when your spirit starts whispering a new truth. I do not have to block what is meant to bless me. I am safe to open. I am safe to receive. Words carry energy. They do not just pass through the air and disappear. They leave an imprint. They shape the way you feel. They shape the way you see yourself. They shape the way you enter the day. And the words you speak most often, especially the words you speak about yourself, become the atmosphere your spirit lives in. This is why spoken words matter so deeply, not just because they sound nice or harsh, but because they teach the mind what to believe. They teach the body what to expect. They teach the heart what kind of world it is living in. If your words are always full of pressure, fear, and self-doubt, then your whole being begins to tighten around that message. But if your words begin to carry peace, truth, and worthiness, something starts to soften. Something starts to open. Many people speak against themselves all day without even noticing it. They say, I am so behind. I never get it right. Nothing works for me. I am too much. I am not enough. I am tired of myself. I always mess things up. These may seem like passing comments, but the body hears them. The heart hears them. The nervous system hears them. And the more often those words are repeated, the more natural they begin to feel. The person starts living inside a house built from those sentences. Then they wonder why they feel heavy, closed, or hopeless. But words are not small. Words are builders. Words are carriers. Words shape the path of your energy. The same is true in the other direction. When you begin to speak words of worthiness, peace, and openness, you are not pretending. You are planting. You are giving your inner world a different instruction. You are no longer repeating the old wound as if it were truth. You are beginning to speak in harmony with the love that already exists beneath the fear. That is why speaking worthiness into your day is so powerful. It is not empty talk. It is spiritual alignment. It is choosing to let your voice carry light instead of darkness, truth instead of habit, healing instead of harm. Your spoken words are especially powerful because they bring thought into form. A thought may move quietly through the mind, but once spoken, it takes on more life. It moves through the body. It vibrates through the chest and throat. It becomes more real to the senses. The body listens differently when you speak aloud. Then there is something strong and tender about hearing your own voice say, I am worthy. There is something healing about hearing your own mouth say, I welcome the very best. There is something deep that begins to shift when your voice stops agreeing with fear and begins to agree with love. Even if you do not fully believe the words at first, speaking them begins to create a new path. Think about how often words from other people have stayed with you. A kind word may have lifted you for years, A harsh word may have hurt you for years. Why? Because words matter. They sink in. They travel farther than the moment they were spoken. And if someone else's words could shape your inner world, then your own words can shape it too. In fact, the words you speak to yourself may be the most powerful words of all because they are repeated the most. They become the daily voice of your inner home. They become the sound your spirit wakes up to. So the question is not only, what do I say? The deeper question is, what kind of home am I building inside myself with my words? A home built on criticism will never feel peaceful. A home built on fear will never feel restful. A home built on self-rejection will never feel safe enough for joy to stay. But a home built on truth begins to feel different. When you say, I am worthy of love, you place warmth into that home. When you say, I am open to the very best, you open a window. When you say, good belongs in my life, you invite light in. When you say, I trust life to support me, you let the walls stop closing in. You are changing the atmosphere one sentence at a time. The world often teaches people to be careless with their words. It teaches them to complain without noticing. It teaches them to repeat fear as if fear were wisdom. It teaches them to speak to themselves more harshly than they would ever speak to someone they love. But your words deserve care. Your spirit deserves care. The way you talk to yourself becomes the way you walk through life. If you keep telling yourself that nothing good stays, you may never fully relax into joy. If you keep telling yourself that you are not ready, you may keep delaying what is already trying to come. If you keep telling yourself that you are not enough, you may miss the ways life is already trying to bless you. This is why simple words matter. You do not need long, fancy phrases. You do not need difficult language. You need truth that can land in the heart. Simple truth is often the strongest truth. I am worthy. I am open. I am safe to receive. This day can bring good. I welcome peace. I trust life. These words are clear. They do not struggle. They do not confuse the heart. They offer something the spirit can hold. When spoken slowly and with sincerity, they become anchors. They steady you. They remind you of who you are beneath the noise, and repetition matters. One loving sentence spoken once can help, but a loving sentence spoken again and again begins to reshape the inner world. Repetition is how old fear became strong, and repetition is how new truth becomes strong. If the mind has heard not enough for many years, then it may need to hear worthy many times before it fully relaxes into that new message. That is not failure. That is simply the process of change. Gentle repetition teaches the heart. Gentle repetition teaches the body. Gentle repetition says, this is the new direction now. This is the new truth I am allowing. Imagine starting each morning with spoken words that bless your day instead of burden it. Imagine saying, before the worries begin, I am worthy of good today. Imagine saying, before you step into your tasks, I welcome peace, love, and the very best. Imagine looking at yourself, not with criticism, but with kindness, and saying, I deserve to move through this day with grace. What would begin to change if those were the first messages your system received? What would shift in your breath, in your mood, in your energy, in your hope? The day would not need to be perfect to feel different. It would feel different because you entered it differently. Words also shape what you notice. If you keep saying nothing ever works out, your mind begins to look for proof. If you keep saying life is always hard, your attention keeps finding reasons to confirm it. But if you begin saying, good is making its way to me, you start to notice small signs of support. If you begin saying, I am open to blessings, you become more able to recognize them when they arrive. This is not magic in a childish sense. It is alignment. Your words help direct your awareness. They help train your inner eye. They tell your spirit what to expect from the day. And there is another beautiful part of this. Spoken words do not only shape your private inner world, they shape the energy you carry into the spaces around you. A person who begins the day in self-criticism often moves through the world in tension. A person who begins the day with worthiness and peace often carries a different presence. Their words are softer, their face is more open, their energy is less guarded, their choices hold more grace, their spirit is easier to live with. This does not mean they become perfect. It means they become more aligned with love, and that changes the atmosphere they bring wherever they go. So speak carefully, not with fear, but with love. Speak as if your heart is listening, because it is. Speak as if your body is listening, because it is. Speak as if life is listening, because in many ways it is. Speak as if the first words of your day are seeds falling into open soil, because they are. And if that is true, then let your words be worthy of the beautiful life you are asking to receive. Let them carry gentleness. Let them carry truth. Let them carry hope. Let them carry the quiet courage of someone who is done speaking against their own becoming. This day does not need more harshness from you. It does not need more proof that you can be hard on yourself. It needs a different sound. It needs the sound of your own voice becoming a place of blessing. It needs the sound of worthiness spoken with honesty. It needs the sound of a heart no longer agreeing with old lack. It needs the sound of a spirit saying yes to good. Speak worthiness into your day, and the day begins to meet you there. So let this be the moment when you begin to speak differently. Let this be the moment when your own voice becomes a source of comfort instead of pressure. Let this be the moment when the first truths of the day are not fear and not lack, but worthiness and openness. You do not need to force anything here. You do not need to make yourself feel a certain way right away. Just let the words come softly. Let them land where they can. Let them work gently. The heart does not need to be shouted at. The spirit does not need hard hands. It needs truth spoken with love. Say to yourself now, slowly and simply, I am worthy of love. Pause for a moment and let those words rest in you. I am worthy of love. Not someday, not when everything is fixed, not when you have done enough, not when you feel perfect. Right now. You are worthy of love right now. Let the body hear that. Let the nervous system hear that. Let the places in you that have felt forgotten hear that. I am worthy of love. Now say, I am open to the very best. Feel how different that sounds from old fear. Feel how different that sounds from the voice that says, do not hope too much. This new sentence is a door opening. I am open to the very best. It does not mean you know exactly how life will unfold. It does not mean you control everything. It means you are no longer closing yourself to good before it arrives. It means you are willing to let blessings enter. It means your spirit is no longer standing at the door with folded arms. It is becoming ready to receive. Say now, good belongs to me. Let that be simple. Let it be clean. Good belongs to me. So many people have lived for so long with the quiet feeling that goodness is always for someone else. Peace belongs to someone else. Ease belongs to someone else. Joy belongs to someone else. But no, good belongs to you too. Not because you have earned your place through struggle, but because you are part of life, and life is always moving toward greater good. Good belongs to you. Peace belongs to you. Love belongs to you. Support belongs to you. Grace belongs to you. And if there is a part of you that still feels shy around these words, that is all right. You do not have to fight that part. You do not have to shame it. Just keep speaking truth with gentleness. Sometimes the heart needs time to trust new language. Sometimes the body needs time to stop bracing. Sometimes the mind needs time to stop arguing. So stay soft. Stay patient. Let the affirmations be like warm light entering a room that has been dim for a long time. They do not have to force the darkness out. They simply stay. They simply shine. They simply return every morning until the room begins to feel different. Say, I welcome peace into this day. Feel the kindness in that. You are not chasing peace. You are welcoming it. You are making room for it. You are telling the day before the noise begins that peace is allowed here. You are telling your own heart that it does not have to live in battle from the first hour. I welcome peace into this day. Let those words become a morning breath. Let them become a practice. Let them become the tone you carry. Now say, I trust life to support me. This is such a healing sentence because it loosens the old habit of carrying everything alone. I trust life to support me. Maybe you have spent years feeling that everything depends only on your effort, your control, your constant thinking. But life is already supporting you in ways too deep for the mind to manage. The breath, the heartbeat, the chance to begin again. The people, moments, and help that appear at the right time. The inner strength that rises when needed. Life supports you in seen and unseen ways. This affirmation reminds the fearful part of you that you are not alone in this day. Say now, I release the need to be perfect. Feel the relief in those words. Perfection is such a cruel way to begin a day. It leaves no room for grace. It leaves no room for being human. It leaves no room for learning. But life is not asking you to be perfect today. It is asking you to be present, honest, open, and kind. I release the need to be perfect. The shoulders soften, the jaw softens. The chest opens a little more. The heart stops running so hard. This one sentence can change the whole feeling of the morning. Say, I am enough as I begin, not as I finish. Not only after the day goes well, I am enough as I begin. This is important because so many people start from deficiency. They think they must earn enoughness through the day, but enoughness is not the reward at the end of the race. It is the ground beneath your feet as you begin. I am enough as I begin. Let those words become a gentle shelter. Let them meet the part of you that wakes up already measuring itself. Let them quiet the old pressure. Now say, I allow good to reach me. This is a powerful opening. I allow good to reach me. Not I chase it, not I force it, not I prove myself for it. I allow good to reach me. This is the spiritual movement from struggle to trust, from grasping to receiving, from fear to openness. When you say this, you are teaching your soul a new way, a softer way, a truer way. You are saying, I do not need to stand in my own doorway anymore. I do not need to push away what wants to bless me. Say softly, I speak worthiness into this day. Hear how beautiful that is. Your own voice becomes the beginning of the blessing. Your own words become part of the healing. I speak worthiness into this day, into my thoughts, into my breath, into my choices, into the way I look at myself, into the way I move through the morning, into the way I receive what comes. I speak worthiness into this day. The day begins to feel different already when you speak like this. not because every outer thing changes at once, but because you are no longer entering it in the old way. And now let these affirmations move together, one after another, like a gentle stream of truth. I am worthy of love. I am open to the very best. Good belongs to me. I welcome peace into this day. I trust life to support me. I release the need to be perfect. I am enough as I begin. I allow good to reach me. I speak worthiness into this day. Let them be slow. Let them breathe. Let them settle. Let them become more than words. Let them become the new atmosphere inside you. Maybe one of these sentences speaks more strongly to your heart than the others. Stay with that one. Repeat it a few more times. Let it become your anchor for the day. If your heart needs comfort, say, I am worthy of love. If your mind needs hope, say, I am open to the very best. If your body needs rest, say, I welcome peace into this day. If you feel pressure, say, I release the need to be perfect. If you feel doubt, say, good belongs to me. The right affirmation becomes medicine when it meets the place in you that needs light. Do not worry about saying the words perfectly. Do not worry if part of you still feels uncertain. The power is not in perfect performance. The power is in returning. The power is in choosing again. The power is in letting your own voice stop being the place where fear repeats itself and become the place where truth can finally be heard. Every time you speak one of these affirmations, you are turning the day a little more toward light. Every time you speak them, you are loosening the old pattern. Every time you speak them, you are telling life, I am ready to live from a different center now. So keep them near. Speak them before you reach for the world. Speak them before the noise begins to gather. Speak them while your hand rests over your heart. Speak them while the morning is still soft. Speak them when old thoughts return. Speak them when fear tries to decide what kind of day this will be. Speak them not as a performance, but as a return to your worth, a return to your peace, a return to the quiet spiritual truth that has been waiting beneath all the noise. You are worthy, you are open, and the very best is allowed to reach you. There is a quiet moment that changes everything, and it is the moment you stop trying to force life to prove your worth and start remembering that your worth has always been part of your spirit. That is where true alignment begins. Alignment is not struggle. Alignment is not fear trying harder. Alignment is not chasing every blessing until your body is tired and your heart is worn out. Alignment is when your inner world begins to agree with love. Alignment is when your thoughts, your words, your energy, and your spirit begin to move in the same direction. It is when you stop saying one thing with your mouth while believing something else in your heart. It is when you stop asking for the very best while still secretly believing you must settle for less. It is when you become open enough inside to receive what life has been trying to bring. When you feel unworthy, your energy becomes tight. It becomes guarded. It becomes unsoothed. Even if you say you want good things, part of you may still be holding back. Part of you may still be waiting for disappointment. Part of you may still be standing at the door of your own life, afraid to let blessings fully enter. But when you begin to know your worth, when you begin to feel it even a little, your whole energy changes. You soften, you open, you trust more. You stop treating goodness like a stranger. You stop acting as if love must be questioned before it can be received. You begin to stand in a different spiritual place, and from that place, what is good can reach you more easily. Life is always responding to the energy you live in, not in a cold or punishing way, but in a living, natural way. A closed heart has trouble receiving. A fearful mind has trouble seeing. A spirit weighed down by self-doubt has trouble allowing. But an open heart notices more. A peaceful mind hears more clearly. A spirit that feels worthy becomes more ready for what is trying to come close. This is why alignment matters so much. It is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to the truth of who you already are. It is about letting your energy come back into harmony with love, with trust, with grace, with the quiet knowing that life is not against you. You do not need to fight your way into spiritual alignment. You do not need to earn it through exhaustion. Alignment begins with agreement. It begins when you agree with what love says about you, instead of what fear has been repeating. Fear says, stay small. Love says, open. Fear says, do not expect too much. Love says, receive. Fear says, you are not ready. Love says, you are already worthy. Fear says, hold back. Love says, trust. Every day you are choosing which voice your energy will follow. And when you begin choosing love more often, even in simple ways, you come back into alignment with the good that belongs in your life. Think of alignment as a river. When you are fighting against yourself, doubting yourself, pushing against your own peace, it is like trying to walk against a strong current. Everything feels harder than it needs to feel. The body tightens. The heart grows tired. The spirit feels far away. But when you begin to agree with truth, when you begin to say, I am worthy, I am open, I am safe to receive, it is like turning and moving with the river instead of against it. The current of life begins to hold you differently. You are no longer using all your strength to resist the very flow that could carry you. There is something deeply spiritual about no longer arguing with the good. Sometimes the mind does not realize how often it resists love, peace, and blessing. A kind thing happens, and it says, this will not last. A new opening appears, and it says, it is probably not really for me. A moment of peace comes, and it says, I should not relax too much. But that is not alignment. That is fear trying to stay in charge. Alignment is when you let the good be good. It is when you let peace stay. for a while without questioning it. It is when you allow a blessing to touch your life without needing to pull away. It is when your heart begins to trust that not everything beautiful must be followed by loss. And this trust is spiritual strength. It is not weakness. It takes courage to stop expecting disappointment. It takes courage to stop making yourself smaller than the love available to you. It takes courage to stand in your day and say, I am in harmony with good. I am in harmony with peace. I am in harmony with the very best life wants to offer. That is not pride. That is alignment. That is a soul remembering where it belongs. A soul does not belong in constant fear. A soul does not belong in constant self-rejection. A soul belongs in truth. A soul belongs in love. A soul belongs in the flow of life, not in endless battle against it. When you become aligned with your worth, you stop begging for crumbs. You stop settling so quickly. You stop calling survival enough when your spirit is asking for peace. You stop reaching for what hurts just because it is familiar. You begin to believe that ease is possible. You begin to believe that goodness can stay. You begin to believe that the very best is not something far away, but something your heart can learn to welcome. And the more you live from that belief, the more natural it becomes. The old fear may still whisper now and then, but it no longer sets the tone for the whole day. Love begins to lead. Truth begins to lead. Peace begins to lead. So let this be part of your spiritual practice now. Not only to ask for the very best, but to come into harmony with it. Not only to hope for love, but to become open enough to receive it. Not only to speak good words, but to let your energy agree with them. Let the heart say yes. Let the body relax enough to believe in support. Let the mind stop pulling against every blessing. Let the spirit remember that it was made for more than struggle. It was made for truth. It was made for light. It was made to live in alignment with the goodness of life. Say softly now, I am in harmony with the very best. Let those words move slowly through you. I am in harmony with the very best. Not fighting it, not delaying it, not pushing it away, in harmony with it. Let that become the new direction of your morning. Let it become the quiet song beneath your steps. Let it remind you that worthiness is not separate from spiritual life. Worthiness is part of it. Because when you know your worth, you stop living as if love has forgotten your name. You begin to live as if grace knows exactly where to find you. Now let yourself become still for a moment and imagine that this day has not yet fully begun, that it is standing quietly in front of you like an open path touched by morning light. Nothing has been decided by fear yet. Nothing has been darkened by old thoughts yet. The path is there, soft and open, waiting for the energy you choose to bring into it. And you are standing at the beginning of that path with your hand resting gently over your heart. Your breath is calm. Your shoulders are soft. Your body is no longer rushing ahead of you. In this moment, you are simply here, present, open, willing to begin in a new way. Now imagine a warm golden light above you. It is not harsh. It is not too bright. It is gentle, loving, steady. It feels like peace itself. It feels like the soft light of truth. It begins to pour down around you like warmth, like kindness, like a blessing that has been waiting for you all along. It touches the top of your head first, and as it does, the noise in your mind begins to quiet. The thoughts that were pulling in every direction become slower. The pressure eases. The need to figure everything out right now begins to soften. This light does not rush you. It does not ask anything from you. It only reminds you that you are safe enough to receive. Let this golden light move down to your forehead, to your eyes, to your face. Feel it smoothing away tension you did not know you were carrying. Let it move into your jaw and your mouth. All the words you have spoken against yourself, all the times you called yourself not enough, all the moments you rushed to judge your own heart. Let the warmth begin to loosen them. You do not have to carry those old sentences into this new day. Let them melt. Let them fall away. There is no need to hold on to words that do not belong to love. Now feel the light move into your throat, the place where your voice lives. Let it rest there gently. Let it bless your voice. Let it bless the words you will speak today. Let it clear away the old habit of speaking fear first. Let it open the way for truth. In this soft golden warmth, imagine your voice becoming kind. Imagine it becoming clear. Imagine it becoming a source of blessing for your own spirit. And as the light rests there, whisper quietly inside, "My words carry worthiness. My words carry peace. My words carry truth." Now the light flows into your shoulders. All the weight you have been carrying, all the pressure to do enough, be enough, prove enough, let it begin to lift. You do not need to hold the whole world on your shoulders. You do not need to carry the old burden of making yourself worthy through effort. Let that burden slide off. Let the shoulders drop. Let the breath become deeper. Whisper inside, "I release what I do not need to carry. I allow this day to hold me too." The golden light moves now into your chest, into your heart. Stay here for a moment. Feel the warmth surrounding the heart, not forcing it open, just inviting it. There may be parts of your heart that have been tired, parts that have been guarded, parts that have forgotten what it feels like to simply receive. Let the light touch those places with great tenderness. Let it remind them that they are safe, safe to soften, safe to trust, safe to welcome the very best. Imagine the heart opening just a little, like a flower at sunrise, not all at once, not with strain, but naturally, because it is being met by warmth. Now, in the center of your chest, imagine a small glowing light of your own. This light has always been there. It is your worth. It is your inner truth. It is the place in you that has never stopped belonging to love. Sometimes life made it hard to feel. Sometimes fear covered it. Sometimes old pain made you forget it. But it is still there. Watch as the golden light from above touches the light within you, and the two begin to glow together. The light above and the light within become one field of warmth, one field of peace, one field of worthiness. Feel what that means. The good you seek is not far from you. The truth you need is already in you. The blessing you want to receive is meeting something inside you that is ready to remember. Now imagine that this light begins to spread through your whole body. It moves through your arms into your hands. It moves through your stomach and eases worry. It moves into your hips and brings grounding. It moves through your legs and into your feet. Your whole body is now filled with this golden feeling of peace, worthiness, and openness. You are not empty. You are not lacking. You are not separate from good. You are filled with a living light that says, I belong to love. I belong to peace. I belong to this day. As you stand here in this feeling, imagine the day ahead once more. See it not as a problem to survive, but as a path touched by blessing. Notice how different it feels when you approach it from worthiness instead of doubt. See yourself walking into the day with softer eyes. See yourself speaking with more kindness. See yourself meeting small moments with more peace. See yourself receiving help, beauty, support, and grace without pulling away. See yourself remembering again and again that you are not here to fight for scraps. You are here to welcome the very best. Now imagine that along this path of the day, there are small gifts waiting for you. A calm moment, a clear thought, a kind word, a new opening, a sense of peace where there used to be tension, a little more trust than yesterday. They do not have to come in grand ways to matter. They are still gifts. They are still signs that life is moving with you. And because you are standing in worthiness now, you can see them. Because your heart is open now, you can receive them. Because you are not speaking against yourself, in this moment, the path feels brighter. Place your hand over your heart again in this feeling and say inside, I am open to receive the very best. Let that be simple. Let it move like a soft wave through your chest. I am open to receive the very best in my thoughts, the very best in my energy, the very best in the moments I notice, the very best in the way life supports me today, the very best in the way I speak to myself, the very best in the way I allow love to reach me. Stay with that for one more moment. Let the image settle. Let the warmth settle. Let the feeling settle. Know that you can return here any time. In the middle of the day, in the middle of stress, in the middle of a difficult moment, you can close your eyes for a breath and come back to this golden light, this open heart, this soft inner truth, you can return to the feeling of worthiness. You can return to the path of blessing. You can return to the quiet knowing that you are safe to receive. And when you are ready, bring this feeling with you, not as something fragile, but as something true. Carry it into your next breath. Carry it into your next thought. Carry it into the way you stand, the way you move, the way you begin. Let the day meet the version of you that remembers, the version of you that is no longer asking whether good is allowed, the version of you that knows deeply and gently that it is. Now let this truth become something you live, not only something you hear, because the heart changes through practice. The mind changes through practice. The body learns peace through practice. And the beautiful thing is that this practice does not need to be hard. It does not need to take a long time. It does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be steady enough to become real. A few simple moments each morning can change the whole tone of the day. A few loving words can begin to build a new inner life. A small daily act, repeated with care, becomes something powerful. So begin your day simply. Before you reach for your phone, before you hurry into the noise of the world, before you begin telling yourself what must be done, pause. Place your hand over your heart. Take one slow breath in and one slow breath out. That alone begins to change the energy. That alone tells the body, we are not starting in panic today. We are beginning with presence. Let that breath become your doorway into worthiness. Let it be the first sign that this day belongs to something softer. Then speak 3 simple affirmations. You do not need many. You only need a few words that are clear, kind, and true. You might say, I am worthy of love. I am open to the very best. I welcome peace into this day. Or you might choose, good belongs to me. I trust life to support me. I am enough as I begin. Say the ones that your heart needs most. Say them slowly. Say them as if you are blessing the hours ahead. Say them not as a task, but as an offering, a gift to yourself before the world asks anything from you. You can do this while still in bed. You can do it standing by a window. You can do it in front of a mirror. You can do it with your eyes closed and one hand on your chest. There is no wrong place for a loving practice. What matters is that you show up for it, that you allow it to become part of the way you meet the day. A small ritual, repeated morning after morning, becomes a kind of inner foundation. It tells your spirit, we begin from love now. We begin from worthiness now. We begin from peace now. If you want to go a little deeper, speak one truth for the day ahead. Something simple, something grounding. For example, today I allow good to find me. Or today I move with peace. Or today I speak kindly to myself. Or today I welcome the very best. Let that one sentence become your thread through the day. Return to it when you feel stressed. Return to it when the old voice comes back. Return to it in the middle of work, in the middle of traffic, in the middle of doubt. A daily truth repeated often becomes stronger than an old fearful thought repeated once. It also helps to place your affirmations somewhere visible. Write them down. Put them where your eyes can meet them easily. On a mirror, on a notebook, on a small card near your bed. In a place where they can greet you before the world fills your mind. This is not childish. This is wise. The mind is shaped by what it sees again and again. If your eyes keep meeting pressure, your heart learns pressure. If your eyes keep meeting loving truth, your heart begins to trust that truth. Keep your words near you. Let them live where you can return to them. You might also choose a short pause at midday, not a long practice. Just a moment, a hand on the heart, one deep breath, one affirmation. In the middle of the day, when everything feels busy and your spirit begins to tighten, stop for a breath and say, I am still worthy. Or peace still belongs here. Or I welcome good into this moment too. This tiny return can keep you from losing yourself completely in the rush. It reminds the body that the morning truth was not only for the first 5 minutes, it belongs to the whole day. And at night, before sleep, let your last words be kind. The mind is open then in a special way. The heart is listening in a softer way. The final words you speak before rest can become seeds for the next morning. So end the day gently. Say, I did enough for today. I am worthy as I rest. I release this day with peace. I am open to more good tomorrow. These small evening words help the body loosen. They help the nervous system settle. They keep you from ending the day in battle with yourself. And when you rest in worthiness, you wake up more ready to begin again in worthiness. This daily practice is not about becoming perfect at positive words. It is about training your inner voice to stop harming you. It is about giving your heart another language to live in. It is about helping your spirit feel at home in your own life. Some mornings the words will feel easy. Some mornings they may feel far away. Say them anyway, not harshly, not as an order, just gently, just faithfully. The practice works not because every day feels magical, but because every day you are choosing not to abandon yourself. And little by little, the effects begin to show. You may notice that your mornings feel less heavy. You may notice that you do not believe every fearful thought so quickly. You may notice that your body relaxes faster. You may notice that you speak to yourself with more patience. You may notice that you receive kind things more openly. You may notice that peace does not feel so far away. These changes may seem small, but they are sacred. They are signs that the new truth is taking root. They are signs that the daily practice is becoming a living part of you. So keep it simple, keep it gentle, keep it steady. One breath, one hand on the heart. 3 affirmations, 1 daily truth, 1 visible reminder, 1 pause at midday, 1 kind sentence before sleep. This is enough. This is a beautiful practice. This is how worthiness moves from an idea into a way of living. This is how the heart learns to welcome the very best, not as something rare, but as something it is finally ready to receive. So now let everything become very simple again. You do not need to carry all these words at once. You do not need to remember every line. You only need to carry the truth at the center of them. You are worthy. You are open. And the very best is allowed to reach you. Let that truth rest softly in your heart now. Let it become lighter than effort and stronger than fear. Let it become the quiet feeling that stays with you long after these words are gone. This day is not asking you to prove your value. It is inviting you to remember it. It is not asking you to chase every blessing with tired hands. It is inviting you to open. It is not asking you to begin from lack. It is inviting you to begin from truth. You are already enough to start. You are already worthy to receive. You are already held by life in more ways than you can see. There is no need to enter the hours ahead in battle with yourself. There is another way, a softer way, a wiser way, a way of trust, peace, and spiritual openness. Let your morning be touched by that now. Let your breath carry it. Let your words carry it. Let your eyes carry it. Let your choices carry it. If fear rises, answer it with kindness. If doubt returns, meet it with truth. If the old voice tries to speak louder than love, do not fight it with anger. Just return. Return to your worth. Return to your breath. Return to the simple knowing that life did not create you to live shut off from good. Life created you to receive, to grow, to soften, to trust, and to welcome what is meant to bless you. Say quietly inside, I am worthy of the very best. Let that be your blessing. I am worthy of the very best. Let it move into the places in you that still feel uncertain. I am worthy of the very best. Let it rest where old fear used to speak first. I am worthy of the very best. Let it become the tone of your spirit, not loud, not forced, just true, just steady, just present, like light entering a room. And say now, I welcome the very best into this day. Feel how open that is. Feel how peaceful that is. You are not begging. You are not straining. You are welcoming. You are standing in agreement with good. You are no longer turning away from blessings before they arrive. You are becoming the kind of inner home where peace can stay. You are becoming the kind of spirit that can receive without fear. You are becoming more and more aligned with love. Let that blessing spread outward now, into your morning, into your thoughts, into your home, into the conversations you will have, into the moments that challenge you, into the moments that surprise you, into the places where you used to shrink, into the places where you are learning to stand with softness and strength. Let it go ahead of you like a gentle light. Let it prepare the way. Let it remind you all through the day that you do not walk alone, and you do not walk unworthy. You are allowed to expect goodness. You are allowed to feel peace. You are allowed to receive support. You are allowed to speak kindly to yourself. You are allowed to begin again whenever you need to. You are allowed to trust that the very best is not only for others, it is for you too. It can meet you in simple moments. It can reach you through quiet grace. It can arrive through peace, through insight, through love, through healing, through the gentle unfolding of a day that no longer begins in self-rejection. So go into this day softly. Go into it with an open heart. Go into it with your worth close to you. Go into it remembering that your words matter, your energy matters, your spirit matters. Go into it willing to let good reach you. Go into it willing to speak differently, feel differently, and receive differently. And when you forget for a moment, as all human hearts do, return again. Return with kindness. Return with breath. Return with the simple truth that does not leave you, even when your mind wanders far from it. You are worthy. You are open. You are welcome in the flow of good. And so let this be the way you begin now. Not with pressure, not with fear, not with the old voice that tells you to expect less. Begin with worthiness. Begin with peace. Begin with a heart that is no longer afraid to open. The very best does not need to be chased by force. It is welcomed by alignment. It is welcomed by truth. It is welcomed when you stop speaking against yourself and start speaking in harmony with love. Carry this with you. Worthiness begins within. Peace begins now. Good belongs in your life. Your words can bless your day. Your heart can learn to receive. Your spirit can live in agreement with the goodness of life. And the more often you return to these truths, the more natural they will become, until one day you realize that you are no longer waking into battle. You are waking into blessing. So speak worthiness into your day. Speak it gently. Speak it often. Speak it until your body believes it. Speak it until your heart relaxes into it. Speak it until the old doubt no longer sounds like truth. And as you do, let yourself welcome the very best with open hands, with a quiet spirit, and with the deep knowing that you were never meant to live apart from love. You were made to receive it. You were made to remember it. You were made to live from it.